Hello, my absolutely beautiful Aries friends, and welcome to your horoscope for April of 2023. Happy birthday to my Aries friends that are on this side of the April birthday cusp. I mean, it's really exciting. I hope that you are having a good beginning to your birthday, or that you're feeling at least a little hopeful, some optimism, some pioneering energy that is that Aries fire and Aries spirit. So however it's going for you, wherever you're at, even if you're like, Stormie, listen, no, none of that. That's okay. I just want to love on you and meet you where you are at in this forecast and give it, just give it my all so you have a little bit of guidance, and to definitely tell you happy birthday. Now this month, Aries, really interesting energy. We have got a new moon solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees of your sign. So it is digging into some advanced lessons, some advanced knowledge, like some real wisdom that you have. And you have that wisdom, Aries, because you did something to gain the experience to get the wisdom. So I can't wait to jump in here and break that particular moon for the month down, because there's really a lot to offer there, I think. Not to mention, we do have your ruling planet still and fully, totally out of the retrograde shadow, out of the whole retrograde cycle. So I do hope that at this point you're feeling a bit more online, okay? All right, Aries, before we jump in, a couple things. Remember, number one, that the Astrology 101 digital course, my 6-hour course, is still up for grabs for $25. I've got that as a gift for you guys this year, saying thank you to you for answering questions that I was asking you, getting to know you, what you want to learn. So grab it. You can do it at your own pace, your own time. Grab it. It's in the description box down below. The digital transit calendar is also down there with a $17 discount, which is absolutely beautiful, from our friends at Wise Guys Astrology. And Aries friends, if you really want specifics on what's going on in your chart, the best thing to do is either really be studying yourself, or come sit down, have a session with me. Book a 15-minute session if that's all you can afford. Book the full hour and let's really carve this thing out. That is the best way for me to help you see what's really going on in that beautiful chart of yours and give you some much more correct guidance, okay? All of that, all of the contact is in the description box down below. Click it, leave me comments, ask questions, all the good stuff. Okay. All right, Aries, let's get in here and see what April has to offer. Now, first of all, we do want to be mindful. It is an eclipse month, okay? So we're going to have the new moon solar eclipse happening in your sign, but it is also the month where Mercury is going to go retrograde in the energy of Taurus, okay? So movable month, but really lots of forward energy is available here. Now, starting right at the beginning of the month on the 3rd, we see Mercury moving into the energy of Taurus. Now, this is going to light up your second house space. So for you, Aries, information, right? Information, conversations, decisions about money, financial things. You could be making some really important decisions, because Taurus doesn't typically make tiny decisions, right? It's a steady earth energy. It's a fixed energy. So you may be making decisions over here all the way until June, really, about things that are going on in your money sector, what you're doing here. Do you want to have a different experience? Do you need to buy something, sell something? Mercury is very much so in charge of commerce as well. Is there a prominent Taurus person in your life and you are reviewing financial things or decisions with that person? But whatever it is, Mercury can be really deliciously helpful for helping you take a more systematic, honest, long-term approach to what it is that you're doing in your finances. When we get to the 6th, we've got a full moon happening at 16 degrees of Libra. Now, Aries, this lights up, the energy across the street for you. So it's going to light up your 7th house space. But I cannot fail to mention that every month we've had lunar energy. We've had powerful transits happening at 16 degrees, and this is no different. And again, I'm going to take you back to November 8th, that eclipse that we had at 16 degrees of Taurus. These 16-degree points keep getting activated for us over and over and over again. So the story now for you is going to be unfolding somewhere around your relationships and your money, right? But this full moon is saying something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted. We need to make a course correction in what's going on in your conscious, chosen, one-on-one relationships. What gives you true independence, Aries, right? And where are you separate from your relationships? Where are you taking too much Aries time and not enough being in the relationship? Where are you finding leadership and you're stepping up to that? Now, also in the realm of the seventh house, besides just thinking relationship, I'd like to expand that a little. I want you to think about relationships, marriages. Yes, absolutely. Your connection to your home, your country, right? That nationalism relation can absolutely be here. Business partnerships, open enemies. Do you have something going in a legal battle? Do you have something going where you know the person you're not on good terms with them, right? So you're trying to find out how to strike this really fair balance for you guys, but maybe you're struggling in it a little bit. What's going on with you in the relationship with whatever you call a higher power or higher self? These are all conceptions that this particular moon opposing your sun, opposing the sun being over there in the I energy, where you're really having to be personally courageous in the we and how you're going to make decisions and change and course correct in these relationships. Now, when we get to the 7th, we're going to see Mercury entering into its pre-retrograde shadow time energy at 5 degrees of Taurus. So start paying attention to your chart at 5 degrees of Taurus, because we're going to see that Mercury is it is still going forward, right? But it's slowed down right here. So it's like, I'm going to unfold the story right about here. So you want to start paying attention. And during this retrograde, we're going to watch between 5 and 15 degrees of Taurus. This is the degree space that you are watching for. Any points, any planets, what house is that for you? And if you're not sure how to find this transit in your chart, I've also got a video in the description box down below how to find the active transit in your chart. So check it out so you can really get in there, all right? But we're going to start to pay attention to that slowdown, and we'll see Mercury take this retrograde at the end of the month. Now, when we get to the 11th, we've got Venus entering into the energy of Gemini. Okay, so this lights up your 3rd house space. So again, I don't know exactly what it is that you're doing, Aries, but I have this sense of it's either travel, like I'm going on a short trip, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do something, but also it seems like there's a negotiation on the table. You're buying something, are you buying a house, selling a house, buying a car, selling a car? Are you making watches? What do you do with tiny movable pieces that are like a semblance kind of travel? Venus is fun, I think, in the energy of Gemini. So this could be something very pleasurable from that 3rd house. Now, other things that happen in the 3rd house, we're having conversations with the siblings. We're making decisions with the siblings. You're teaching, you're writing, you're working on that website, you're learning and breathing in some kind of information. But really know that until we get to May, you're going to see that your attraction style, or what you're attracting into, or what you are attracted to, has a lot to do with the intellect, has a lot to do with conversation, has a lot to do with different networks and being social in your space. That really is very exciting and very fun, I think. Now, Venus is also Venus, so you could be making money in some way too that is coming from that kind of digital communication space, or you've got royalties coming from a book or something like that. Okay, when we get to the 20th, now we have got this new moon solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees of Aries. 29 degrees. That is very, very important. That is an anaretic critical degree for us, okay? Because it's at the very end of the sign. So it is power packed with wisdom and experience that you have. And this is our new moon for the month. So this is about using that wisdom, using that Aries fire, using that honesty that you've had also with Jupiter traveling through this Aries section of the chart, where you're like, I want to do this, I want to go here, but it's constructive, it's wise. You might be going on an adventure under this particular new moon that you never thought you were going on, because you never even thought happiness could live over there, because you just had never even thought of it, right? So this is, I encourage you, I encourage you with Jupiter there, calling to your expansion, calling for you to travel, calling for you to get out beyond your own horizons at this particular eclipse and say what was going on. Now, I like to flash back, okay? So we're just getting started. This is our first little eclipse hint energy. in the Aries Libra axis. So right now, when we were doing Taurus and Scorpio, we backed up to 2003. Right now, I would like you to start thinking Aries Libra. Think around 2005. What was going on for you? You know, were you going on a new adventure? What were you taking on that was really about you, where you're like, I am pioneering and pushing this forward? You were developing a different relationship, you know, with yourself in some way. What did that look like? This particular solar eclipse is also going to be squaring Pluto. So it really does tell me that, you know, your wisdom and your ability to make change under this Pluto energy, like, you've got it. That's what I can say to you. You have got it. You have got the courage and you've got the wisdom to meet any challenge that comes your way. And likely you did it before in 2005 as well. Okay, then just 4 hours later, it's like 4 hours, okay? We get this 29-degree exciting lunar event where we're starting something new, and the effects can last 6 months or longer. And just 4 hours later, the sun pops into the energy of Taurus, okay? So now the second house is lit up. You've got light, heat, life, vitality pushing on through. You are making decisions, and you're going to have this energy here, remember, until the middle of May 21st. So, you know, what are you spending money on? What is delicious? What is sensual to you? Are you spending extra money? Are you spending more money than normally you would have on something? But likely whatever you're spending money on, it's an investment. It's something that's going to have long-term benefit to you. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, I also want to say too, as a Taurus, and I really respect this of Taurus energy, but it is a wealth building machine when you can tap into the energy correctly. Now remember, the ruling planet of Taurus right now at this point in the month is in Gemini. Who are you talking to? Who are you learning with? What deals are you making that are teaching you how to build and maintain wealth? And wealth also means relationships, right, Aries? Like, you can be building and maintaining some incredible, strong, long-term, preserving, persistent relationships during this season. So take a look at your chart and see how that's lighting up. Now on the 21st, as we're going to close out this month, we're going to see Mercury enter into that retrograde energy in Taurus. Okay, so again, we're going to spend a lot of time going back over this money situation. Now this retrograde is beginning at 15 degrees of Taurus. So it's a time where you're going to be re-looking at your finances, re-looking at your self-worth, your value, your relationships. What do you have in your life that is long-term? Because I do want to say this. Watching the trend really from November until now, Aries, I have this sense for you that it's like you felt like you really had to like give up something, right? Like, I'm really having to give up my money, or I'm really having to give this up. And it seemed that way. And maybe you really even were. And this season is more about reminding you that the rebuilding is actually here, and it's more steady, it's more available. What you unearthed and unburdened yourself with throughout that second half of 2022, Aries, was just about it can't come with you. That's it. And I don't want to make any qualms that it was like comfortable or not painful or not scary or not anxiety driven, especially with your ruling planet retrograde. But this is the season where I think we really start to see, and you start to find out that it's like, no, wait a minute. I'm good. I'm good. This is going to come back around for me. My season of building is now, right? Is now. And remember in July that Venus is going to go retrograde. It is in the energy of Leo, but it will also be telling you something, signaling to you into this second house as well, okay? So we're going to see this Mercury retrograde stay in place until May 14th, okay? Where it is going to come out of retrograde back at that 5 degrees of Taurus that we talked about, how it went pre-retrograde shadow on the 7th, okay? So really start watching from the 7th all the way certainly until May 14th, But then the full retrograde cycle that we're working with is going to take us until May 31st before Mercury moves all the way on. So really start paying attention to your Taurus zone from April 7th all the way to culmination at May 31st, okay? All right, my beautiful Aries, I hope you have an absolutely delicious month. Enjoy the second half of your birthday. You have got this. The maintenance is there. If you need help, reach out. I'm here. I would love to walk with you, assist you, teach you in any way I can the astrology that can help you get a little bit more clue and guidance as to what's going on and how to navigate. All right, Aries, I love you. Bye.